So this worksheet is just more practice on the binomial theorem, and they've broken it down into different parts, and I will leave this up because that will come in handy. So the first few questions are just asking for the coefficient. So if I had x squared minus, I don't know, 9, or sorry, x minus 9, let's say to the 10th. Okay? How many terms are there going to be in that polynomial? 11 terms. Now, it would take a long time to figure them all out, correct? Not worth it. So, what we're going to do is ask for the coefficient of the x to the 5th term. So it's just saying, what is the number in front of x to the 5th in that equation? So I go to row 10, which is right here. Okay, now x to the 5th is going to be where? So this would be x to the 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th. So 252. Okay, now what? X to the 5th times 9 to the, well, we got to count backwards. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th. What about the sign? Is it positive or is it negative? So positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Well, it's a pretty big number. 252 times 9 to the 5th. So the coefficient, wow, is 14,880,348. Negative. So poor Amy thought her birthday was so important yesterday. She didn't come to class. So let's show her. Let's show Amy where it comes from. So on row 10, there are 11 spaces. Shh, listen up. There are 11 spaces. Okay? So the coefficients are 1, 10, 45, 120, and so on. And then, since it's to the 10th power, and my first one is an x, I would put an x to the 10th, x to the 9th, x to the 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then I would put 9 to the 0, 9 to the 1, 9 to the 2, 9 to the 3, all the way up to 9 to the 10th. Whatever. So if you're just looking for the coefficient, then you need to put in all the terms. Well, basically find the term, and the answer is just the number in front. So let's do another one. 3x plus 5y to the 6th. What is the coefficient of my x, y to the 5th term? So I'm going to go to row 6. So what is my first term going to have in it as far as variables? X to the... Hang on a second. So this would be x to the 6th. This would be x to the 5th, y to the 1st. This one would be x to the 4th, y squared. And notice that 2 and 4 add up to 6. 1 and 5 add up to 6. 6 and 0 add up to 6. That will always be the case. So what term would this be? That would be x to the 6, 5, 4, x to the 3rd, y to the 3rd. This one would be x squared y to the fourth. And this one would be, so 6 times times something to the, oh my gosh, to the first times something to the fifth. So what goes in this first space? 3x and 5y. So my coefficient is 6 times 3 times 5 to the fifth. 6 times 3 times 5 to the fifth, which is 56250. Now, yeah, that's the not leading coefficient, it's just the coefficient. So, I'll leave it up on the board so you can see it. Okay, so that's how you find the coefficient. What if I asked, what is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th term? Well, the term is actually xy to the fifth. No, I won't. I'll do another one, but not the first one. No. I'm not going to do any that are on the worksheet. Because it's not very long. That, those of you at home, that is my impression of Amy and... Sorry, I can't. Whatever. Okay. So, let's actually expand one all the way. So on the first set, all you're looking for is the coefficient. On the second set, all you're looking for is that particular term, the first term or the fourth term. Okay? And then at the end, you're actually going to expand. So everybody turn your paper to the back. So let's expand 4x minus 3y to the fifth. So, yes, write it down. There are 4 parts to every expansion. We have the a term, the b term, the coefficients, and the signs. So if you can pick those 4 things apart, building this is actually really easy. So I have 6 spaces. I'm going to put the coefficients in place. Practicing. We're practicing. So, this is an x to the fifth. So I go to row 5. Row 5 has 6 terms. So my coefficients are 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. Okay? So now we have to look at our a term. Our a term is 4x. So we're going to start at the 5th power and go down. So 4 to the 5th, x to the 5th. And then 4 to the 3rd. Yeah, you can do it that way if you want. X to the 4th. 4 to the 3rd, x to the 3rd. 4 to the 2nd, x to the 2nd, and times 4 times x. And then the last one has no 4 and no x. That's just how it works. So then we look at our b term, which is 3y, and we start at 0 and we go up to 5. So the first term has no 3's or y's, then 3y, then 3 squared y squared, 3 to the 3rd y to the 3rd, 3 to the 4th y to the 4th, and 3 to the 5th y to the 5th. And then there's one more thing we need to do. The signs. The first sign is always positive. Then what happens? Minus, plus, minus, plus. So minus, plus, minus, plus, minus. And now we just go through and perform the multiplication. So the first one is 4 to the 5th, x to the 5th. So 4 to the 5th is 1024. So 1024 x to the 5th minus. What numbers am I going to plug in for the second term? 5 times 4 to the 4th times 3. So 5 times 4 to the 4th times 3 is 3840. What are my variables? X to the 4th y. And then 10 times 4 to the 3rd times 3 squared. So 10 times 4 to the 3rd times 3 squared. Oh my gosh. 4 to the 3rd times 3 squared. 5760. X to the 3rd y squared plus 10 times 4 squared times 3 to the 3rd. 4320 x squared y to the 3rd. 4, did you do 10 times 4 squared times 3 to the 3rd? And then 5 times 4 times 3 to the 4th. And then it's going to end with 3 to the 5th. So minus, oh sorry, this one was supposed to be minus, plus 1620 xy to the 4th minus 243 y to the 5th. Then you can do everything. Okay.